Willow wildfire update. Crews in Alaska say they need extra assistance to battle back the rapidly growing fire. The evacuation center is evacuating. Officials work to move people who left their homes to get further away from the blaze. And Tracy Sinclair will explain the weather conditions that are contributing to the fast-spreading fire.
You're watching KTUU, Channel 2, Anchorage, Alaska's news source. And now, the state's #1 evening news team. This is the Channel 2 News Late Edition.
A wildfire rapidly spreading in Willow is now reported to be more than 1,800 acres. There are voluntary evacuations in order, and people are on edge all across the Mat-Su Valley tonight. Good evening, everyone. Dozens of residents in Willow have evacuated as the Sockeye wildfire threatens their homes. Officials are now asking for out-of-state assistance to help battle the blaze. This is video from the Bureau of Land Management Alaska Fire Service holding a briefing with lower 48 hotshot crews. They will soon be on the fire lines of a blaze that is burning on both sides of the park's highway. Officials with the Mat-Su Borough Emergency Services says the fire started just after 1 o'clock this afternoon near mile 74 of the park's highway. Willow residents who live between mile 69 and 77 of the highway have been asked to voluntarily evacuate their homes. Now, we have 2 reporters on this story tonight. Channel 2's Nikki Carvajal has reactions from people affected by the fire. But first, we head to Channel 2's Samantha Ngayak, who is live on the highway with the latest. Samantha.
Well, Caslin, conditions have been changing quite rapidly, especially within the last hour or so. As you mentioned, multiple agencies are responding, and a little while ago we did see units from the Anchorage Fire Department show up. And earlier we could smell the smoke and see ash falling from the sky, and that was from about mile 72 of the park's highway. And at about 8:45, troopers increased the perimeter, sending traffic a few miles south on the highway. And currently, troopers are in process of conducting a voluntary evacuation, as you might be able to see behind me, for residents living along Long Lake Road. That is voluntary, and they are allowing people to go out, but not in.
It's nerve-wracking being on this side of the fire and not be able to be on site to be able to try and deal with whatever's coming.
A wildfire burning outside of Willow stands between Dave Straub and his team of 35 dogs.
You know, losing property and your home and that's one thing, but to have the animal, to have them just be on their chains and not to have the opportunity, I can't imagine.
The fire ignited Sunday afternoon, clouding the sky with black smoke.
It's moving pretty quick.
And growing rapidly throughout the day.
The weather right now isn't in our favor. It's hot, it's dry, the wind's blowing, and just with the lack of rain and moisture, everything's dry and it's burning pretty quick.
With at least 1 structure lost, the Alaska Division of Forestry says multiple agencies have been called to assist, including help from the lower 48.
We have 5 helicopters working it currently, along with 2 tankers, 3 fire bosses that we brought out of Fairbanks, a platform, aerial platform that's keeping eyes in the sky, along with our air attack that helps lead in the tankers. So we have 2 tankers also working the fire at this time.
Drivers heading north lined the park's highway at a stop for hours.
I think the highway will likely be closed all night.
Waiting to see what comes next.
So we've got a big house and lots of pets and stuff over here. We're not exactly sure what we're even going to do.
A fire continuing to burn, leaving homeowners and travelers hoping for the best as crews work to contain a blaze spreading through the black spruce forest. In the Alaska Division of Forestry says the cause of the fire is currently under investigation. No cause has been determined at this point. We'll be monitoring the situation overnight and, of course, bring you updates on KTUU.com.
All right, thanks, Samantha. Now, residents who were told to leave their homes and head to a Red Cross evacuation shelter have been displaced again tonight. Channel 2's Nikki Carvajal has the latest on how the evacuees are handling it all. Nikki.
Well, Caslin, as Sam said earlier, things are changing very quickly, rapidly on the ground here. Earlier today, we were at Willow Community Center, and now the Red Cross is setting up at Houston Middle School, where they'll be providing shelter and services to people who have been displaced from their homes. Now, this is obviously causing a lot of stress for people who already, when they woke up this morning, had no idea they'd be spending the night in a shelter. We spoke with several people earlier who said that by early afternoon, they knew that something big was going on. But with the shelter just a mile away from the fire line, they weren't quite getting comfortable just yet. The mood here was somber.
Kind of the Miller's Reach type situation, isn't it?
People weren't panicking, but they were worried.
I think the only way to really, it's kind of roadless, really, to attack it's from the air. So I think all the air tankers and all the, you can see helicopters loading.
Yeah, right there. They're hauling water.
They're hauling water right now. So, you know, I think we could get every tanker available.
This was the first stop for residents evacuating their homes, but it turned out to not be the last. And some people knew it was coming.
They could evacuate this place here yet.
Willow is a mushing community, and you could see it from taking one look at the outside of the shelter. Gordon Bovey has his dogs, plus some extras. He's helping out a nearby resident who's currently battling the flames.
Most of these are from the firefighter. There's some in crates, and then others are staked out. And we've got a few actually in vehicles as well.
It's just one example of mushers and neighbors coming together.
A lot of communication through the mushing chain.
300-400 sled dogs have been moved in the course of just a couple hours.
Dee Dee Johnrose all moved, and Martin Boozer came up and helped Dee Dee move.
And as people move on to the next evacuation point, they're counting on that community support. Now, for people who are on the other side of the fire, there's another evacuation point set up by the Red Cross, and that's at the Talkeetna Senior Center. Live in Willow, Nikki Carvajal, Channel 2 News.
All right, thanks, Nikki. The hot, dry, and windy conditions could be to blame for the spread of the fire. Let's check in with Tracy with a look at current conditions in the area. Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Caslin, we have been anticipating these spike in temperatures over the last several days, and they arrived as expected, 78 degrees right now in Willow. Now, at this recording station, it's reporting calm winds, though we are seeing gusts to about 13 miles per hour. Other locations in the valley showing reports of 20 miles per hour for their gusts, up to 24. And the relative humidity, that's something you want to watch, 16% currently in the area near Willow. Why is that important? Relative humidity is the amount of moisture in the air compared to the amount of moisture needed to saturate the air. So really, why does that matter? Basically, the earth and the air are always exchanging moisture, and if the air is dry, it's drawing more moisture from the fuels, which makes the grass and those small fuels on top definitely drier. So fuels are going to catch quickly, and they are going to burn much faster. So definitely we're watching the relative humidity. It should drop overnight, at least temporarily, and that's good news. But Caslin, it's going to be dry for several more days. I'll have the full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Tracy. And we will continue to post updates on the fire on our website. There you can find the latest about evacuation notices and also a photo gallery of images our viewers captured of the fire. You can visit ktuu.com.